Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of my 100-day self-connection experiment where I meditate every day for 2 hours and then come here and share with you my experiences. Wow, holy shit. Today broke me. Today overwhelmed me. Today scared the shit out of me. Right when right when I started, I had so much fear come up. It was just chaos. I actually stopped 8 minutes in and then like had to restart and go a whole another 2 hours. So I actually did like 2 hours and 8 minutes because the point is to do 2 hours straight. And like, I just remember all this fear coming up. And I was just like, what is this fear? Why am I afraid to sit with myself for 2 hours, you know? Like, what the hell? Um, and ultimately, I realized it's like the fear of being alone that has really driven so many of my codependent and needy and insecure patterns through my life, especially prior to the last 2.5 years, but even even up to this point. I mean, they're still obviously alive in me. And I was just like in so much pain at some points during this meditation that if thank God I did the video saying I was going to do this for 100 days, you know, because the pain of not doing this, the pain of quitting this and quitting on this whole journey that I've committed to is still much greater than the pain that was coming up in my 2 hour meditation. Although today it was really it was really close. Not really actually. I mean, I'm just gonna go through this, and what I was feeling is if I follow through on this, which I'm going to, there's going to be so much more freedom. There's going to be so much more space within me. I'm going to expand on this journey. Today showed me that more than anything. And what it also showed me is, wow, I've been creating with all this pain that's in me. Like, cause this has been in me, you know? And so it's like, I've been creating my reality with this pain. So it's like, thank God I'm going inward to feel this right now so that I no longer have to create with this. So that I don't have to create with these old patterns. I could literally feel karma burning up. And one thing I want to talk about is really what I've really learned today is that any type of fear we have is just fear of fear of feelings. We're afraid to feel something, whether that's like public speaking. If we're afraid to give a speech in front of people, it's not really the speech and all of that and the public speaking. What it is we're afraid of the feelings that are going to come up in us, right? And I've always been driven by fear when it comes to having a strong connection with others. And it comes to this fear of being alone, right? So I've always had the fear of rejection, the fear that somebody I care about won't reciprocate. And I've had a really strong connection come into my life. It feels like it's been divinely orchestrated. And this connection has caused so much fear inside of me. And it causes me to sometimes keep a lot of space from it. And then sometimes when I do connect with this person, I can feel like it's fear driving me in a sense. And I just feel like, when we follow our hearts, like when we have a strong connection with somebody that is just instantaneous, that's like really deep and really powerful. Sometimes we can avoid this connection because we're afraid to go into it because we know we're going to have to feel a lot. We know there's a potential that we're going to have to be in a lot of pain, that we can get really hurt, right? And if we have memories of being hurt by strong connections, then these strong connections are things that we might want to avoid, that our mind will want us to avoid. And I know for me that this connection has brought up a lot of those fears. And so, yes, follow your heart. And if there's fear there, walk towards your fear. But when you go into these connections, instead of trying to go into the fear with your mind and to figure everything out, because the mind's going to try to keep you safe and try to say everything just right and try to, keep boundaries up to keep you guarded. Instead of going into these intense connections you have, these powerful connections with that mentality, just go into them with an open heart and speak your heart. And that's one thing that I wish, I would say I wish I could have done better up to this point, but at the same time, not really, because I've learned a lesson from it. The quote unquote mistake of coming to this connection with fear through my mind has taught me that it's okay to have fear, but just to go into it with your heart open. And going forward, with this connection that's come into my life, I'm just going to go into it with my heart open and speak my heart with no expectations and to just love unconditionally. Because it's when we're going into these connections with the mind, it's because we're trying to protect ourselves. It's because we don't want to lose something. It's because we're afraid that our love won't be reciprocated, right? But if what this meditation is teaching me, it's really that everything is found within and that we are whole within. So it doesn't matter if it's not received. And if we're not afraid of feeling, then that's when we're free to express unconditional love, right? We can't express unconditional love if we're afraid of feeling the pain of our love not being reciprocated. And that's the big thing I'm learning, is the reason I've had so much fear with this new connection in my life is because there's that ego there that needs to have it, that needs to be met with, that feeling of acceptance and approval. But what I'm learning is that's actually just me being afraid to feel the feelings of my unconditional love not being received or something. I don't know, guys. I just had a 2-hour meditation where so much came up for me. It's hard to even speak right now. I wonder how my videos will look on day like 50 and 100, compared to these days, because I was just in it today, guys. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat this to you. I had so much sharp pain surging through my body. I had to take child's pose a couple times. I never opened my eyes. I never came out of the meditation, except for that one time when I restarted it. So I did another 2 hours, but I literally had to take child's pose sometimes. And what I'm realizing is this is going to be a rocky ride if I'm just going to do it through the thinking mind. I was really in my head today, and I wasn't so much in the pure awareness. And I got there once for I don't know how long. It felt maybe 10 minutes where it was really nice and something had released, but the rest of it, wow, so much density coming up. And it just made me realize why I act the way I have acted in my life and behave the way I behaved with people I've had strong connections with. Because here's the thing, I've just been afraid to feel what I was feeling today. And I'm realizing if I can go into this every day for 2 hours, God help me, that I'm going to just feel so much freer to go into life and go into these powerful connections with an open heart and to just speak my heart, speak my truth without needing anything in return, right? Because that's what real love is. That's what true unconditional love is. We just speak our heart and let the truth be. And it's just about sharing. It's not about extracting anything, right? And that's the biggest thing I've had, is my ego has needed extraction from others, has needed something back so that I wouldn't have to feel what I voluntarily felt today. And so if I can just keep voluntarily feeling these things towards the end, even though it was a staggering amount of pain, I was able to say, I love you. It's going to be okay. I'm sorry I've never been able to love you before. And so that's going to be my movement. I hope that it's never as hard as it was today. This was the hardest meditation I've ever had in my life. And if it wasn't for this channel, if it wasn't for the integrity of this channel, there's no fucking way I would have done it. There's no way. So I don't mean to say this to not inspire you guys to do it. I actually think that this is inspiring because it's shown me how much pain is still in me that I've been creating my reality with, right? And if I want to create a more expansive reality where I'm able to give my gifts at a higher level and where I'm able to inspire more people and hold space for more people in sessions, then this is stuff I need to work through, and these meditations are going to do that for me. They're gonna help me so much. But to do that, I need to release my fear of being alone, which is essentially just to say to release my fears of feeling the feelings I don't want to feel. And it's very hard, it's intense, but I'm glad I'm on this journey with you. I'm shooting this raw right after my meditation, so it's probably all over the place. I just dealt with a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm interested to see how these evolve and change. This is going to be a fascinating journey. I'm so glad to share it with you guys. I love you so much. If there's one thing I want to say from this is don't be afraid to feel your feelings and speak your heart and not need anything in return. Just share your heart. And as you start feeling more connected to your power, more connected to your wholeness, this movement will get a lot easier. So I love you all so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.